Greetings, greetings. It looks like I'm live. It looks like I'm live. Hopefully, I will be able to see those of you who will be talking to me. Let me see if I can make some adjustments here so that I can look at the chat. Let me know if you can see me. I'm coming in real quick. So it's time to pull up, y'all. It's time to pull up. It's pull-up season. So what do we have on deck? How are you all doing? What do we have on deck? What do we have going on? I want to tell you what I know. I want you to tell me what you know. I'm looking to make sure that you can see me. Make sure that I'm live. I'm using a bit of a new service, so I want to make sure that you can see me. Yeah, I think you can. Okay, I think we're all good. I'm trying. Yep. Okay, we're all good. All right. So hopefully everybody gets this message. And let me just get centered here just to take a breath. It's been a minute. It feels like we just finished the Get Juicy 7, and I taught 8 days straight. I needed every bit of the full week to recover. And in that time, I've been hearing so many things with so many things that are happening and reporting. You all already know that a solar eclipse is coming because they're telling you about it online. Yeah. They're already letting you know that it's coming, right? It's coming. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you can see me on YouTube. I see YouTube can see me. I don't know if Instagram can see me. That's the challenge right there. Let's see if I'm connected. Thank you for saying hello. So I know all of you are aware of this because the news is reporting this. And so when the news reports these types of things, we tend to pay attention to it. And but I want to tell you that we need to pay attention to the full moon that's coming up. And here's the thing. If you are one who says, I don't believe in astrology, she's always talking about this star stuff or this zodiac stuff, just pay attention to your own emotions, to your own feelings, to all of the things all the clues that you're getting. I have seen the highest level of depression and isolation that I've seen even before the lockdown. The numbers are through the roof in terms of people who are experiencing grief and loss, and other emotions, anxiety. I'm hearing about relationships that are breaking down, left and right, family members who are vexing one another, just a tremendous amount of anxiety, but it's being called this, but it also is spiritual upgrades. We've talked about this type of thing before. So I think there's some, okay, here we go. All right, now I see. So it's being mislabeled. A lot of what we have been experiencing is being mislabeled. People are making permanent decisions about temporary situations. Now, temporary is a little bit of a context, right? We got to put a context around this temporary experience, meaning it's not here forever, but the transitions that we are experiencing are affecting us mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Most people are saying that, hey, listen, this could be chaotic. Anytime you see the National Guard moving into an area for a total eclipse, and the eclipse is coming from a direction that is kind of unusual for the sun rising in the east, setting in the west, but it's coming through the south. Like, are we paying attention to what's really happening in the forecast? And if you haven't been paying attention to what's happening in the forecast, that's okay. pay attention to what's happening with you. What is your weather system saying? How are you cloudy? Are you storming? Are you norming? Is it sunny? Is it bright? Is it an actual cyclone going on in your emotions, or are you numb? Because right before a hurricane, right before a tornado, it gets incredibly still. It gets incredibly still before this time. So when it gets still like that, that's when people get a little worried. Because when the wind picks up and the howling starts, it's almost too late to do anything except take cover. And so many people are taking cover emotionally. Many people are taking cover in their relationships. Many people are taking cover running, fight or flight, going to your go-to emotional mechanism, coping mechanism. And so our emotional coping mechanisms often is called being an empath, being a highly sensitive one, being neurodivergent or neurospicy. Oh, I'm a woman, that's a man. So it's all type of polarization happening in our relationships with one another, because we are being polarized. The poles are in us. We are being polarized. We're having extreme responses to this unknown thing. The Dr. Jewel Pookrum says that what's happening is like the solar flares that are happening on the earth is like playing piano on our DNA. So if there are upgrades happening, then that means that there also are some things that have to come off of the software, have to come out of the weather system before we can do anything. And so this full moon that's coming up has some information for you. I didn't come to be in front of you too long, right? I want to be able to give this good news to you, right? I want you to be able, and I'm sorry if I can't say hi. I'm using a bit of a system here to to get to deliver both on YouTube, right? And to give you a little bit more of how to get to things, right? And I don't even know why this says join the Fab Factor instead of saying my name. Okay, so we'll work all of that out. But here's the thing. People are there's a few things that you need to do to get your house in order, right? In the Quran, they say something like watch as well as pray. There's a surah that says not something like, but there's a surah that says watch as well as pray. So yes, it's the people are saying this is the time to manifest your desires, but this is also during an eclipse season as a time to be still. Now, there's two sides that say go outside, don't go outside, because the energy is chaotic and you are absorbing all of the energy. There are other forecasters who have been saying, listen, this could be a season that you could absolutely lose your mind. Other people can. But oftentimes, these are people who are already on the edge of nervous breakdowns, losing their mind, breakthroughs. It depends on what work you have done before you get to a solar eclipse. Are you grounded already? Or are you teetering on an edge? You will feel it. So this is absolutely this season of March 25th is the lunar eclipse. That's coming up any day now, and it's happening right around Easter. And by the way, Happy New Year, because the spring equinox was yesterday. So this is the true new year. So Happy New Year to you. Say it back. Don't be rude. Happy New Year to you. Say it back. Don't be rude, people. Happy New Year. So you have all of these events happening during Lent. It's still Lent for many people, whether you are traditionally practiced. Oh, good. No, I'm glad it's serving you. Or whether you are non-traditional. So you have all this happening. This is also the season of Ramadan for Muslims, and everybody doesn't have to be Muslim to participate in Ramadan. So this season is a season of preparation for what is about to be resurrected in nature, in many ways that you're seeing a lot happening, right? So depending whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're agnostic, whether you are a nature center person, a lot is happening. A lot is loading. But the load is not just the new year, the new season, and a new age. So I've been talking to you about the new age for months. You already know Pluto is in Aquarius. All of these three have implications. And now you take a solar eclipse, which amplifies everything, everything in your mind, everything in your spirit, everything in your world. You are a world. There are worlds happening outside of us in the collective consciousness. There, the world of politics, the world of celebrity and exposures. And this is the age of information. So anything that has been hidden, Aquarius energy comes to disrupt the hidden. Pluto represents the hidden, represents the mysteries, even if it's been hidden from you. So so listen, I have not been exempt. So what have I done? So let me give you a few things that you can do so that I can get out of your way. One is you have to up your tools. It's pull up season. You got to pull up. You got to lift up. You got to go higher. You can't be spiritually lazy in this season, saying, yes, I know, but then you don't do anything about it. You can't say that you're doing the work, and then when all hell breaks loose, so do you. So you got to use your tools. And I'm speaking to you no matter what your tools are. This is very important for you to get in community. You cannot be a city girl. What does that mean? It may be a double entendre for some people, but you can't be a city girl. City girl people, you mind your own business. Yeah, you want to mind the business that pays you, but you also want to be neighborly. You want to tribe up. You want to get into relationship with people who can understand the spiritual work that you have done on yourself because they're doing it on themselves, not because you want them to understand you. In fact, you may have felt a gravitational pull away from people, places, and things and don't know why. You know, the ones of you that like to turn up, you've been turning down. The ones of you who are social butterflies, you've been in a cocoon. Those of you who don't do winter and cold or whatever, you've been hibernating. Even though it's springtime, you're finding it difficult to come out. Those of you who have been communicating one way, it has not been going well for you. It is because we have to communicate differently with ourselves, with our divine mind. You have to up your wattage. Thank you, God. Somebody just dropped that in the chat. You got to up your wattage. If you've been focusing on the bag, that might be the very thing that tests you. If you've been looking at some person to be your rescue or they're the villain, you got to up your wattage to see things differently. It's not enough to just say, hey, listen, I don't have to explain. I can cut you off and all of this stuff. No, because it's going to show up again and again and again and again. But it's going to show up quicker in this season. It's going to be more intense, and it's going to reveal the thing that you resist the most. Okay, let me get up off of that. I'm going to say that for those of you who are in the tribe, who I know are doing the work. I'm talking to who knows who and what right now, right? But whenever there's a shadow moving on the earth, it's a shadow moving inside. Okay, so this particular thing is happening between these eclipses are happening between Pisces and Aries. Okay, and so this thing is happening. We're in an 8th year, and this total eclipse is happening on the 8th day. 8 is a karmic year. It is a prosperity year, but it's prosperity you have to work for. Otherwise, you loop. You find yourself in a cycle, or you have chaos, or you recycle, right? So The only way to get out of the loop is you have to do the work that you were supposed to do in the 7 energy, the 7 year, the things that, I posted about, we wanted to be outside and some people got outside. Or you have to do the work of the 9. You're going to do one of the other. 7 is the number of completion. So whatever you didn't complete, you got to revisit. It's not enough to have incomplete cycles of action, incompletions here, incompletions there, because you're distracted and you're busy. How many incompletions? Number 2, I said you got to up your wattage. Number 1. Number 2, you got to look at the incompletions if it's not moving for you. And if it's in it, and if the other possibility is, is the 9. Are you at the end of a cycle? 9 is not just the end of a cycle. In order for there to be new beginnings, something has to end. And the 9 is about service. It's about service. 9, however, can be a delay. It's like being fully ready to give birth, and then you have a due date, and then the due date is delayed. And so what do they have to do if you go too long? They have to induce labor. Some people are feeling like you're in labor right now. And you don't want to abort the thing that you are carrying that is too early for it to be born. Come on now. Or you don't want it to stay in too long and cause it to lose its life force, its purpose, and return in another way. Oh, I hope you all are getting the manna in this. So in order for the 8 to be prosperous, there has to be spirit first. The 8 energy is not just the money energy. That's why when you see a gambling, you see 777 as the jackpot, the slots. You don't see 888. However, 8 is an abundance number. That is why we are doing the Fab Factor, the Feminine Abundance Basics, which we moved the date for the Feminine Abundance Basics to April 1st. We've added some things, and I am doing a special for the Fab Factor just for those of us who need a resurrection, a reset, a revival, so that you can either be introduced to Juicy or reintroduce it into your life, but infuse it with those 7 accounts that you get to experience in this process. So I'm doing the special. But before we get to the special, y'all know around this season, I do a revival. Online revival. I have done it. I had not done one since I have been initiated. And so I was teetering and tottering. And even when I haven't done a big one for the public, I have done a private one for the tribe, something one day. Well, we're going to do another one, another special revival on Good Friday. On Good Friday. Good Goddess Friday. Okay. On Venus's day. And it's all about the divine feminine rising in us, as us, and through us, and the call and the messages. I got some powerhouses that are coming before you, that are channelers, that are seers, that are healers, that have information that's coming forth through us. I will be releasing that. So make sure that you drop something in the comments on the last video that I just posted, or this one, to say, hey, all in, whatever it is, send it to me. Send me the link. But let me tell you what we're getting ready for. I gave you pull up, right? Go higher, up your wattage, right? And then we are also having to really do that check-in. And then the third thing is, you want to get grounded, but at the same time, you want to know what you're willing to release, right? I know that sometimes we, as those of you who are leading ladies, who are heads of your household, meaning single mothers, as they call, I don't even like using the collective terminology because we become so identified by that, also with the pain body of that. But when you think of head of household, you think of compensation, income tax, don't you? You filing head of household. So when we have this tendency to focus on having a full plate. I'm doing a lot. I'm telling you, it's pull up season. It's time for us to get lifted. We got to get lifted. That's why we're doing the revival. And it really is for the tribe, because I've heard so many of us who have gone in, pulled in, introverted, all of these different things that are happening. And some people don't know why, some people do. But your feminine cannot be neglected. So even for those of you who are calling on the soft life, yet you are carrying so much. You're carrying so much even when you don't have to. I cannot tell you how many sisters who have men, they manifested the man working with me, doing the work we do in private containers, sacred containers. You manifested the partner, but you fight with the partner. You fight against the partner. You shut down. Ain't nobody gonna tell you what to do. You don't do struggle love. This is a season where reset, rebuilding, revitalization, revival, resurrection, all of the respect yourself. All of the re's are happening. So how dare you, even if you've been married 15 years, even if you've been married 7 years, you ought to be renegotiating, number 4, renegotiating the contracts, the hidden contracts and agendas that you have attached to not knowing it, the hidden contracts and agreements that you made with playing small, the hidden contracts and agreements that you made with your coping mechanism being a positive state of psychology, and it's not. Running, coping, disappearing acts, all of these things. It is important to be in. There's an old song. I just heard the old song in the old church. Where would I be? I heard that lyric. Where would I be if it weren't for community that I've had? Because breaking bread with women who are vibrating higher, that are not singing a victim song, that are not trauma bonding over poor marriages, poor relationships, poor attractive power, women who are turned on, tuned in, tapped in, has been so refreshing to me. People who can see you spiritually, your elders, your counsel, who can see you and they speak the life into the thing that you're running from, that you're hiding, that you're waiting for to be picked, to be chosen. It's important to have that in this season. Because sometimes when you go around your family, they will remind you of everything, that all of the work that you did to backslide. Playing small. I had to renegotiate an agreement of even the little girl in me, of showing up with a family member who is a safe place. It's a good thing to feel good around family members, but if it causes you to forget and to have amnesia about who you are in spiritually, it's time to pull up, to rise higher. And those of you who've been running and the reluctant to because you're afraid to make a mistake, you're looking for perfectionism. Say it fast with me. You're looking for perfectionism in yourself. So when other people have flaws, it's not even safe to tell you the truth. Some of us have contracts and agreements with the mother wound, with the daddyless daughters. Some of us have contracts and agreements to struggle. Some of us have contracts and agreements with the black sheep, Some of us have contracts and agreement with the part of our natal chart that we never got read or looked into because we don't know why this keeps happening. So you just keep bumping into things, bumping into it. There's a sister on TikTok who's doing Who the TF Did I Marry Part 2, her version. And the stories that she's telling, it's exhausting because she's a famous celebrity who's been on Broadway. She's acted on next to some of the best. She sings, she writes, she's done her damn thing in Hollywood. And now she's telling these stories of 4 men that she's married. Oh, no, 4 children that she's had. I think it's 3 men that she married. And she's telling the story of losing custody of her children twice, fighting in courts, representing herself, only to marry so she's giving them code names. And I was like, oh no. And it's disorganized. So sometimes she'll tell you a story about this or tell you a story about that. But she comes from abuse. She comes from being beat and abused. And so quite naturally, and she said, I don't even have an attachment to this life in that way. That's why I take risk. But she, for a moment, what's different than her from Risa Tisa's is in hers is that she gets to self-awareness for a minute and then she gets off to tell another story. So my point in saying that is, if you have not done your work, you'll do it DIY. You'll do it in the curriculum of your relationships. You'll do it in the curriculum of work. You'll do it in the curriculum of the anointing that you have, the calling on your life, the assignment that you're called to do, because you have more of a contract to make sure that your children don't go through what you went through. So you'll work yourself to the bone for them, and then when it's time to show up for yourself, you're not there. Pleasure is important during this season. Number 5. Pleasure is important during this season. Some of you really, truly need to have a different relationship with pleasure that is not just transactional. Self-pleasure, sharing pleasure, but expanding the definition of pleasure. And this is feminine abundance. So this revival, during this season, we are amplifying because one of the things I will tell you about the dark matter, which is most of my melanated sisters in the tribe, is that you have a special gift in chaos. But if you don't know yourself, you'll let everybody out there tell you who you really are. And you'll be singing the song of people who may be high profile, lots of followers or something like that. You know, they have what you want, and you'll sacrifice yourself, your marriage. You'll sacrifice the mission on your life because you came with a destiny and a mission. You'll sacrifice. But when you get into relationship with becoming your ancestors' wildest dreams, you'll move and not necessarily know how, but you'll trust, because you are the trust. You are the ministry. You are the chapel. You are the sacred space. You are the holy ground. You. And anybody else who doesn't recognize you, what Putin did in Russia to unveil is nothing new. For those of you who have been following an Afrocentric theology for years, that's nothing new. We know that. But the majority still don't know that the shrine of the Black Madonna is a code for you all in Europe, which includes Russia, which is all on the temples and the hieroglyphs, and that there are many temples, not just all the way in Kemet, that they're right here in the mounds of Mississippi and the mounds of Tennessee and the mounds of Georgia. Don't get me started, but we will keep going. One bonus thing that I wanted to tell everybody is you may want to cover your head. If you notice, I've been doing a lot more of that, but you may, during the week of that eclipse, because of the chaotic energy that it's bringing, the heat that it's bringing, the matters of the heart that Pisces represent, all this pull up stuff that is pulling up, you want to make sure that you're processing yourself and not picking up energy from other places. So you definitely, bonus tip, cover your head, wear lighter colors. I would stay away from black. I know that there is a pastor out there telling folks to wear black. Black absorbs energy. Yes, it is the source of all colors. It is. That's why you are dark matter. You are the 9 ether being. Your hair curls in the inner energy of the 9. You are the 9, the matter that they talk about on the Black Panther. You, boo. Say it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. And if you've been waiting for somebody else to catch up with you, they will keep moving. This particular energy it will help you to even know where your north node is, for you to understand how it could affect you. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the revival. This on March 20th, the sun enters Aries, right? And Mercury will go on to be conjunct Chiron. You got to watch what you say, because you may be speaking from your womb, the wounded healer. Somebody says, it's me. Thank you for talking back to me. Aries represents the self. You have there okay. It represents new life. It also is a warrior energy. Don't be surprised at the wars and rumors of wars on the planet right now. Why is the National Guard moving into cities? Is your house stored? Are you able to shelter in place if you need to? These are things we're talking about in Tribe, because they get filtered here. We need spaces where we can be unedited and uncensored. Okay, I'm checking the time because, okay, I'm at the mark that I want to be of closing out. Make sure that if you are in the Rebirth 360 Sanctuary, with the new year, I changed the name to the Rebirth 360 Power Circle for a reason. The sanctuary is now being loaded with what I call different ministries. And so you will be able to go into the She Magic. Those of you who are subscribed to She Magic, I did a live this morning that was much more detailed. And you can go check that out. The revival piece, we'll be making the announcement there, also on the Rebirth woman group, and it'll also be a Facebook event that should be up tonight, but I need a nap. Where are all my Perry sisters? Y'all know what I'm talking about, because Perry has been dancing. This energy loads in anytime there's an eclipse, the effects load in 3 weeks before and 3 weeks after. If you're moon sensitive, meaning when the moon is full, you feel it emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You tap in, whether you're bleeding or whether you are ovulating. Might be a little horny. That's okay. Use that energy to attract and create and draw in. This is the time to be booed up, honey. You need good loving. So stop fighting with your lovers. Stop trying to possess things and people. Possess yourself. Aries energy is very possessive of others, but doesn't like to be possessed. It likes to be able to move, have fun. It is the adventurer. But this is a shadow period, so all the shadows that come with the positions that are being amplified, which brings us back to Pisces, matters of the heart, which starts on the 25th. So we're going to talk about all of this more in the revival. I don't want to go too deep. Tell me if you have some questions. I'll also take some polls, and I may go live in Rebirth Woman later. But your girl is streamlining where we go and deposit this information. So either subscribe to YouTube or get active in the Rebirth Sanctuary. If you think that we should make a full move off of Facebook, if you tell me that you're going to act within 24 hours of me opening up a free space, I'll have a semi-free space for you to join into, if you think you're ready to make the move. So, but anywho, it won't be as loaded. You won't get all the benefits. I'm literally loading up some new things. I should say that our team and me, because I'm working to go through it again. So we're loading up a whole new some freebies for those who are, I should say, bonuses, full bonuses for those who are subscribed to the She Magic space. So get in there, get in there, get in there. If you have any questions, and if you have a friend, get ready, put it on your calendar for 3/29 at 7 p.m. A Good Friday rising, honey. We the Good Friday, we're going to give it a metaphysical interpretation and a energy update, an energy upgrade and activation, the way we do it in Revival. So it's your season, it's your time. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Make sure that you connect with me. I think I have everything that you need here to be able to join us. And if you want a consult or a reading, this is just go to rebirthwithlatanya.info or the link in my bios. Whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you can go to the link on my bio. Let me see. Let me over there. Nope. Trying to look at myself and point. Okay, there we go. Over there. All right, y'all. So I hope everybody's doing better and better and better. Yes, thank you, Carol. 329. Again, I don't know who's commenting. I can't see. We're going to work on this. But Wednesday's bookmark between the 1-ish time frame to go live. And so I thank you for joining me for Shift Talk. I'll see you on the other side. I hope that this is enough information to get into the room on the 29th. It's going to be a different kind of happy hour, huh? It'll be a divine feminine happy hour, honey. Come on in the room. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you on